Cliff, at the end of the game tonight, that had a real end-of-term feel about it for obvious reasons. We'll come on to those in a second. But, when Sheffield has scored 5, that looks a really tough comeback from there.
Yeah, I think everyone in the room realised, I know everyone in the room realised at the end of the second period that was probably going to be the last period we got to play in this building this season, and we didn't want to be remembered for losing to Sheffield, in the last game of the season when, we have no idea when we're going to be back together as a team again. So, that's basically what I said in between second and third. There's nothing tactical, there's nothing, X's and O's. It's just, we're not going to let this happen, in the last game at home. And the boys went out there and phenomenal in the third.
It is frustrating, we know that, but we totally understand why, we can't have gatherings like this and games can't go ahead. And obviously, of course, we understand that. But we were talking earlier that, the frustration is obvious when you think you've got a team that can play like that on a pretty hot streak going into what would have been the playoffs. It could have been a good run, couldn't it?
Yeah, you know what? We've got no kind of divine right to go and win the playoffs, but I think we had a great chance, and it is frustrating, Obviously, there'd be 7 other coaches going into the playoffs that also tell you the same thing, that they can go and win the playoffs, and absolutely, they all can. We're all with a chance, but it's easy for me to sulk about that and feel like we've been robbed of an opportunity to go and compete for silverware, that we've been sort of resting, not resting on our laurels, but we've sort of freewheeling for a while, waiting, getting things right, getting things clicking right for the playoffs that are now not really going to happen. So yeah, it's frustrating. But, there's a bigger picture. That, there's people a lot worse off than us in the world. People that are seriously ill, people that have died from this virus that's going around. And, we need to I need to act my age and suck it up and just realise, that there is more to life than hockey.
It was good to see so many here tonight, but it was good to see so many messages on the stream of people that have decided to stay home because they may be at risk or they know somebody's at risk. And, they're taking a really responsible view. And as we stand here now, we still play tomorrow night in Leeds. As we stand here now, we still have Telford next Saturday and indeed all next weekend. But the likelihood of that happening have got to be getting slimmer by the hour.
Yeah, I think the more you hear, different sports being called off, actual, financial powerhouses like the Football Premier League and Premiership Rugby and the NHL and the NBA and stuff like that, I think the writing's on the wall, I'm not expecting to be coaching a hockey game next weekend.
Special word in that case for the noise that this place generated today. Went a little bit quiet when, of course, Sheffield took that lead, which you'd expect. But boy, oh boy, in the third period, they raised the roof, didn't they?
Yeah, that was so loud, and you know what? The boys, I've probably stood here a lot of Saturdays and given the boys a hard time. The boys deserved that noise tonight. It was a bit lackluster maybe first period. I think it was a bit weird for everyone that we're here and playing, and it took us a while to get going, but that third period performance, that deserved everyone in there to be out of their seat, on their feet and making noise. And as much as I've been harsh on the boys because I've always been striving for like the next level and the next level, they've been awesome, 2/3 of the season really, since probably November onwards. Like, there's no one really that's been better than us across that period of time, and it's frustrating that it all ends here, but that team's got a lot to be proud of. They should be proud of themselves. I'm certainly proud of a lot of the stuff they've done, and we're really appreciative of the support we get, and I hope the fans are proud of the boys and the way they've turned things around this season, because I'm certainly very, very proud.
Special mention as well to the owners, because that owner group have given you pretty much everything that you've wanted all season. You never wanted for anything. They've allowed you the freedom to coach and run the club as the team as you see fit, and you can see it works. Yeah,
phenomenal. I couldn't wish for better people to work, with. They'd probably argue with. I feel that I work for them. They are my bosses, but they're an unbelievable group of people. They do nothing but support. Sometimes we have slight, disagreements, but it's only ever out of everybody wanting to do the best and everyone wanting the best for the club. And it's been amazing, and this is just phase one. This club's got so much potential. players that we've got here now, players that we'll try and bring back for next year. We've got so much potential as a club, and with the ownership we've got and the support we've got, the sky's the limit really for this club.
Saying that as well, I guess we start looking towards next season now, of course, and that's where your work carries on. And obviously we'll stay in touch with the fans during the off season. We'll be doing interviews with yourself and team personnel as we get signings in and stuff like that. But I'd like to say thanks to you, because all the way through the season, whenever things have been going badly or they've been going well, you've always come up, you've always fronted up, you've always been absolutely honest, which I've always known about you anyway. We've always had that, those conversations. So thanks so much for that. If it does end, we just go again next season.
Yeah, that's it. That's all you can do. Just look what's ahead of us. Is it tomorrow? I don't know. Is it next weekend? No idea. But we'll still be live and kicking when a new season rolls around. And thanks to you, Chris, for all that you do, all the media people, all the volunteers, everyone. I'll get a full list together in time for the awards night if that happens. But I'm going to miss people off. But thanks to everyone who's contributed this year. It's been a ride. Not always pretty, but more good times than bad.
Brilliant. Well, cheers for your time, Cliff. Really appreciate it.
Thanks, mate.